dress better. Kwekaza okubaawo.
You have not answered my question.
I've answered you. It only points to that person was deducting from you. They could not develop with you, right?
The point here I'm going to take it. Good morning, people. Good morning. No, but I'm saying, Nengo Chiradi, Chigata. KFC. Good morning. Tuina discussion you know. It's getting heated. Good morning Juma, Mugalasi Joshua, Solomon Chitumba, Mantur Hanifa, Council Patrick Asiku, Antonio Nimba Services, Hanaba Joshua, Ahimbisiwe Dennis, and Deep in Coffee. Good morning. I mean a Deep in Coffee PhD and ndaji kwa idapaka wenjifuna. So we have a discussion in this place. It's that if you broke up with your partner today and a month from now they look better, they dress better, they have more assets than what they had when they were still with you, what does that mean? What does it mean, Hanifa? And actually said ndoza they don't end kwa KFC network out. Ni mama banaga ndoza na yeye doka bali ndo baba ntebali ndoza fera tugenda genda KFC za njawo. Zengende chiteka yage de Kampala Road. Hey, the discussion is if you broke up with someone and a month from now, because I was asking her, okay, the issue has been the issue of people that lose their partners and to death mostly, and they look better, they dress better, they are happier. Does it mean that their partners were the problem? Yeah, the people that lose their partners and all of a sudden they look better, they are happier. Does it mean their partners were the problem? Kata unatuva into kama na ebya death be very strong to them break up, and I asked her if we broke up today and 5 months from now ngabyo nabyo twalina nabikulekera nengenda nengwe zange, and like 5 months from now I have a new house that I've built, I've started building apartments, I have a better car, what would that mean? Because our discussion was, especially majority of the times when you look at women, I have for example a relative of mine, when the husband died, she looked better. In 1 year she had a new car, which of course for her ebigamo byafuluma nti yali atunze muwala yali atunze muwala. There is a certain Hajj that wanted to marry the daughter, so the Hajj bought her a new car. The Hajj kept giving her money and mother-in-law things. So that kept, but the woman looked much better than when she had the husband around. So and of course those are the examples we have been having. So netuvanga tugambye death is too strong. Katogere kubine ebyaffe ebya bulijjo. If I broke up with Mama Aban and we divorced, for example, netusalawo gwe twalebe nemulekera buli kimu nengenda mukazigo mchikoni, for example, and all of a sudden in 5 months I have a better house, I have a better car, I have built actually, because in 5 months you can build a house in Ojimana and Ojingira. I am building apartments and all those things. I dress better. Yeah? Then I asked her, bwagamba mbu abakazi beegumya, because for what she was saying abakazi bebafirwa bababa bebabeera mu kwegumya beekolako makeup baba tebalina kyakkola. So I'm asking her, bwagamba mbu abakazi baba beegumya, agamba abakazi baba beegumya, so if I broke up with you and all of a sudden my life was better, what would it mean? So you guys, what do you think? Good morning, Salmi. It means yafuna omubede than you. It means we are not adding value to the other person. Simply means you have been bad luck in his or exactly what I'm saying. Good morning, Abby. Ebisidan is real, but Chaliba. Jerome morning. Those are Ochari Chemba Denjogera. So you guys, the question is, if they were husband and wife, and the husband dies, and all of a sudden the woman looks better, mostly the looking better part, mostly the looking better part, what do you think happens? Chechota, omusajja bwe yafa, omusajja yayina ye yaleta okulabika obubi kw'omukazi, omusajja yali amenya omukazi. Yeah? What do you mean? Of course, for like the situation we are talking about, Mama Ban is saying that sometimes abasajja tumenya nnyo abakazi, n'omugana okwambala obulungi, n'omugana okulya obulungi, n'omugana makeup, n'omuggyako sente ezize ze yeekolera. So if for example a husband dies and the woman all of a sudden looks very good, what do you think in those situations? Because me, I'm thinking, I was telling Mama Ban, if I died today, koga nabika bubi impact yebengera bikati sajja nono yali ngwanguli. Nekwe, do you know what it means for a man to die and all of a sudden the woman starts growing big? All of a sudden she grows. She starts natiba bu TV. Do you know what that means? Nawe muntana joli wekyusa namu. Ndoza kato kiraba wenkyogera bwenti. Okiraba? Mwabagayi, Salmin, mwabasajja naddala mwabasajja, simanyi, what do you think? Nze nali suubidde, if I died now, for the next 5 years Mama Ban abenga tategeerekeka. Nera okaletegereka kaleyo mukazi kyonna ekyamutuukako, omusajja oli yali w'amaanyi. Bwe kiba kyetagisa kumira sirimingi pills, kale zimire. Ensi ekirabe nti omusajja oli yalina impact mu bulamu bw'omukazi. Naye gwe nze n'enfa mu myaka 2 n'onyirira, bw'oba wali mumpi n'owanvuwa n'okuwanvuwa, oba tenikugana naye omusajja ono nedda. Omusajja ono ateeka okuba yali azza mukazi we emabega. Kati nze Mama Ban nze n'ogirira wano, saagala kukyogera, n'ogirira wano, nze n'amaanyi agagenda mu jimu gabula. Nze nanyinza okuggana nti ne bagamba musajja, mukazi yasiiga omusajja ekiwuka, kati naye kimutwala. At least do it for like 5 years awo. At least omuntu abenga yali alina impact mu bulamu bukambazeeko kubbala. So you guys, that's the discussion today. Ebira tulina binyumyako enkya kubanga eno discussion ketekinge ndabidde ddala ngeri very important. You men, we need to make impact in our women's lives. It doesn't look good for a man to die and the woman all of a sudden it looks so good. I know it sounds very evil, but I must imagine when your partner dies, look bad. It's the natural thing to do. Look bad. Koga. Become become black. Nekwe partner wana afa. No nyirira bunyirisi. My guy, what do you think about that? Because I realize a discussion to Jibako Ralero. Tejja kuddamu kunyumanga bweyinza kunyuma lwaleero. Abasajja naddala mu abasajja. Do you think it's proper that you die and your wife looks better? Mama Ban was telling me, the woman, she has to be strong for the children. kwegamba such things that are not understanding. Maybe I don't even no one. To be strong for the children. Me, I think even the children should see you suffer. But I remember daddy again enough on mami na isi kwa mubi nyo. Mami na mare myaka nga jijo nga mbele tabuse. Nekati your husband dies. And in just 1 year you're strong. In 1 year you buy another car. In 1 year you start renovations on the house. Do you know what that means? It looks bad. Looks very bad. So you guys, what do you think? Nadera Fabasaja, to you know, because our legacy is important. We as men, your legacy starts from there. Like, Mami Ruswata no yafana ye. Muroza, Mami Ruswata si eri za family bikoma. Mumanya musajja yali ngwanguli. Kalebera raise for 5 years. Then be strong again. Yes. Show the impact of Okujako. Show the impact. Show the impact. If a man loses the wife, asokabe lewe myaka ngena ngatakolola. Yeah. Kazi no. Osegere Satan can almost say, I was say. Your wife dies and in 6 months you have another woman. What's together? It's your church wakanyiza. My guy, discussion here you know and visit a bit bugala nyoko kugaza moroka yange na yise chino. Actually, neri na yo wala. Maniga itawana. So you guys, discussion. What do you guys think? What is the proper way of doing these things? Because now we have to set the rules. Tetugenda kudda bintu ebyo bya kugira wano. You have to make the impact. If the president of Uganda died today, there would be impact would be felt in this country in Zimbabwe. Impact here you go. You need to have some impact. You know that you not calling your banang, or you not calling you so that you have impact. That have real impact. Or you take that. So you guys, I'm back. Never demo field. Things went on well. Of course, my mom got korole no namukade. Tewali chigana bintu genda bulungi. So as I was in the field, someone sent me one of my followers sent me a Corolla 2010. But at again upgrade, I went to see the Corolla 2010. It was manual as well. It looks really nice. The body, the design of the car is really nice. But when I went to inspect that car, so I went to inspect the car. The engine was bad because he had gearbox issues. But it's possible it's not even the clutch. Sometimes gears was a jam because gearbox the car needed respraying. Ngeta go koza ngendo gata esita kola. Ngendo gata costing it's not worth it. So ngendo gata munga the cost doesn't add up. Ngimuro keyo wadi yabade 2010 yabade na ku UAM ngegena kugwera mu million. They were selling it to me at 8 million. Ngandabe moro kejja kugwera mu million 13. Not worth the money. You get. It wasn't worth the money, so I ngamba wade ku chimoro kachino kirungi. Achesonye ya singa. So yeah. So that's how I decided to leave the upgrade and I stay in my Namokade. Then you would have bought the Namokade because I would have had a new Corolla. Yeah. So I'm going to read your comments. I'm going to park somewhere and read your comments. Then we proceed. I'm muting him katono. So discussion yo kumacha abajiwulidde mujiwulidde. Jagala so cancel my comment and okay, I introduced the discussion to the people that did not hear it. In a way, it's funny but not funny. Because these things happen every day and yeah. So you guys, by the way, more news. My show is going to be running on Pearl Magic Loco every Saturday at 8 p.m. So if you have a Go TV, you add my show on the must watches at home. 8 p.m. every Saturday, starting Saturday 30th of September. It will be running. The show will be running every Saturday at 8 p.m. starting 30th September. So don't be missing out. Don't be missing out. The show is called The Cafe. Yeah. People just told me so I'm also going to start following. I'm going to start following. But just not starting 30th September. Jagala kusoma ku comment zino nayige mmoroka namala. So let me read some of your comments now. Nelson, good morning. Andrew Okuni, good morning. It just means the two were not passionately joined together. They were just grafted into one another. An entanglement. Oli mutuufu Preacher Joseph. Kuze wasibye Mama Abani. Otuwako kuba tumuwangudde. Tetwasibye naye ko kumuwangula tumuwangudde. Naye atuse nga atandise okulaba bimaking sense. Nedda omusajja was blocking her opportunities from potential players. Yay! Mr. Arthur, if you break up with Mama Aban, God forbid, you can leave her everything but not your namukadde. Namukadde yotajeha naye sinza muleka kubigere. Kale rangi muwa paka bwemufunire endala because munnange. You people, marriage is not food. It has many things that enable and hold back potentials of individuals. I think what Andrew is saying is true, is that sometimes people can be in marriage, na yenga, the marriage is actually now the problem. Nga better things could happen to that person naenga because of the terms that you guys have set for each other, then some of those nice things are not happening to them. Then when you die, good things start happening to them. Most times there are people who were meant to be with us. Such situations testify you never had luck in each other. You who were not meant. Kiba kitegeza omusajja ali atudde ku mikisa gy'omukazi. Oli otya mwami Arthur ennaku ezo katono ogende ku trending section on Twitter. Kale ntuuse tuwaye. Amina. Siwukako naye mazima ddala. Obeera onyirira kiddala. In fact, nze mba saagala ofune musajja mulala nga nfudde. Kibava bakola nti amalogo nga abasajja bafudde. Bakola amalogo mboleme kudda. Good morning, Bernard. Dad twamuwona. Yali akumpunye. Nze nange bwe ndowooza. There are things I cannot say here, but some of the examples, like one example, is a discussion, anyway. I definitely can't say it here, but it's a very clear testament. Nze Mama Bani, nemfa siwuka koga dugara. Jangu naku ogenda ku mulimu buli lunaku nga amaziga gatiika. batabani bange bunaku balina okujjanga bwe bakusirisa mami be strong naye kakati kati kankusomere comment z'abantu wano ezisoose ono agambye kiba kitegeeza omusajja yali atudde ku mikisa gy'omukazi okiwulira. Most times there are people who are not meant to be in such kansomeki yawandiise who are meant to be with us such situation testify you never had luck with each other. Then nagamba you people, marriage is not full. It has many things that enable and hold back potentials of individuals. Wano comment egize agambye nedda musajja was blocking opportunities from potential players. Kitegeeza they are players. Nakugambye. I think the thing that happens with these things, the women never say the truth. Fa basajja tetutya. Fa musajja mukyala wo bwafa bo ina yakantuko. Ensi yonna emanya. Ba bakazi beekwekera ddala. Ensi teyinza nakumanya nti ayina ye ekintu kye. Then it just means the two were not passionately joined together. They were just grafted into one another. And by the way, munne bwaba tayagala muntu. Awennaku ezisooka akaaba. Because abadde abeera naye. But we see the real love. 5 years down the road ngokyalemi okulikavaringa. That's how we know. Yes era nze nja kwekyusa mu ntanda senga nkusookayo. Kandabe Salmin agambe siyo kakona ye mazima ddala obeera onyirira ki okiwulidde. Ono dadi twamuwonye namwandu anaakungubagira nga bbaawe okumala ebiro 14 oluvannyuma atandika obulamu obupya. Antonio lwaki oleeta bayibuli wano? We are not living in Jerusalem. We are in Uganda. Women also hold their men back. By the way, it happens. But I'm thinking it's mostly men that hold back their women, because we as men we set a lot of rules. A lot of our rules are supposed to be followed. Nekati nze mama abani sobola muka kino tokikola naki nayenze ngangamba atya okitegeera tosobola kati ate mba siri musajja bwobanga osobola okungamba tokola kino naye ate nze bwe mba nsobola okugamba tokola kino n'okikola mba siri musajja era. Kati nze I can hold up majority of the time I can hold back your chances, but you can't hold back my chances. Okitegeera. That's what happens. But it's not good for the man to live alone. I know. Good morning, Arthur. I think that is why some cultures in the north kazika wakati mulujja even never senguka. You need to feel the impact on the man's death for a very long time. A very long time. Some cultures odagambi bazika mulujja wakati mulukakazi ng'omuntu buli wajja omwami wa wano yafa okitegeera. Impact. If you die alone, leave people to live happy. But remember, ladies think men are the first to die. Ngenda gena ne mujimu ne leero era leero kangende malo okusomesa student wange oli ngende mujimu situte ku byuma sijja kufa mangu. Tewali mmotoka erimenyawo na mukadde nze eri Corolla 210 yaganye ziweddeyo. Tukirize tugaane bwofa oba ovudde mu bulamu buno oba tokyalina buvunaanyizibwa ku kintu kyonna. In church bise okufa kwe kutwawula biba bikomi lwaki asiyuka. I decided to buy my car to enjoy myself. Omuyindi luli yali ampa emmotoka ne bwe mba muwako miliyoni. What do you think? Omuyindi no yali ampa emmotoka ngamba after you for you 1 million you take. Anzi kubuulira oba muyindi oba Pakistan ngaayagalako miliyoni emu nze nsigale nga mwendo osinga neŋŋaana neoba kuba kati ate Joshua kyoyogedde kyandibanga kikulu tulina nyumirwa bulamu. Kasiba nti how are you today? Yusuf Sulaiman Antonio kati bino bijemu Antonio abijemu ebya Bayibuli. Sewo Arthur mukyala wo omwagala nnyo naye akwagala nnyo naye wali wa mulaba era you don't know what you're saying. You Joshua, you don't know what you're saying. Oyagala nfe wano ne nagenda kola nnyo soda ne KFC. Kuba buli wenkirowozaako ekyo ekintu teri kintu kisiga kukoza abasajja ng'ekyo. Kubanga tukimanyi lwofa mulumbe lwe bamukwanira awo. Salmini ngezaako to side with Mama Aban. Antonio eritegeza Antonio naita kusaidia. Alese ebya Bible oleme kuwulira nti you are alone. I'm addicted to this. Amina Titus. Good morning, Musa, Isaac, Pasco, Joseph. Kangende, I'm late. kati owulira blackmail etandise okubeera wano, blackmail eri wano, mbu agamba mbu kati mbu bwesigula yogurt mbu kungubaga kuba kwa lunaku nyina ogulanga yogurt buli lunaku ate ayagala guli omukebe guli omunene. Kati wano nyina okuvuga ngende kilomita 2 ngende ku supermarket nkomewo wano ndete yogurt. Omuntu bwaliiga emmotoka nantuuka abaayize kamba meeting emu katono. Your discussion nayo. So apparently someone else called me. He's going to Somalia. Yabadde njagala kunguza nuwayo Salmin njo yagala UAX. Sinagirabako mbunga ajenguza milioni 13 nemuganzi mzee ngenda kwanze milioni 8 za cash teziriko kubanja. Nze ngakimanyi nyina y'abantu bange. Abagala emmoroka eyo. Awuza milioni 13 mwana ye milioni 13 mweye emmoroka ogenda kuzijjawa. Yeah, so your discussion tuveyo kamba nyumize ebyange ebya Passo ne Primo twagula last week. So I did not take pictures of the Primo, and I think the person that bought the Primo, then the privacy kicked in. Omanyi ifana nimbo mbikubanga moroka nakajigula, it's easy. If I take time, it's hard for me to get the pictures now. Yeah, but anyway, I bought a Primo with someone. We bought it 25 million. Very nice Primo, nothing, I can tell you, nothing to repair at all. And you know, the fact is he liked the Primo to the extent that I took him to the bond to buy a Raum, a UBP Raum, na ajigane tugula UBC Primo. Ochitegeera. Ata benzi yakomawa, benzi najigoba. Atenze ndwawo. Najigoba. Joshua, I could be Antonio pressure. One thing I've learned about men is that men are territorial. Vinga abasajja change chiba change. Njagala chibe change. Of course, one thing we need to understand that wofana engoye zo bazitwala abasajja abane batandika okusa. Abasajja batandika n'okuzambala. Okitegeera. Abalalu ku kyalo abatamiivu zonna yeziraze bazigabye mu charity gumanya batandika okuzambala. Since I watched your videos, now I'm ready to buy. Amina Abdul gwaludde moroka zo ziba zikulinze mu katalo ogenda ozigule. Selmin nze sinafuna wakuwasa bata amazima buli lwenkirowozaako ng'omutima gunnenyeka. Mr. Antonio ago mazima omwagala waliwo amulaba nze tewali kinnemesa kuvuga motoka gye njagala. Naye yo Benz nagiganye. I want a Mark 2 grand. Juma, you can get a Mark 2 grand. 12 million, chemanyi 13, 14, 15, depending on the time and availability. Council Patrick, Benz, it's okay. Benz yote yakola chenali njagala. In the beginning, it was really nice. It moved properly. That had no lack of power at all. Then I realized the first thing was that it was consuming fuel. much more than what I thought it would. I thought it would probably use like 35,000 every day, but it was using 60. So you can imagine someone who wanted to buy a car that uses 35 to 30,000 in fuel. Now I will tell you that I understand why people don't even drive Subarus where I come from. People don't even drive Subarus. Abantu abali wafe bavuga moroka ngene yange Sienta, Fielder, because those are cars whose fuel consumption you can actually predict. Bavuga Probox C. So it was over consuming. So now I'm najivuga mwenda kuzamala. And then I also realized, you see, because I came out of the Benz and sat in my Corolla. You guys, although I'm going to do a comprehensive video that tells you why the Mercedes-Benz is overrated, I realize that the comfort of the Mercedes-Benz starts from the mind. It starts from the mind. Why am I saying that? I sat in my Corolla and it was much more comfortable than the C200. Now someone will tell me you are seated in 1997 C200, you're seated in 2001 Corolla. Yeah, but the Mercedes-Benz is meant to be much more comfortable, but it wasn't. Of course, now the comfort of sitting in a Mercedes-Benz, that's why some people grow fat ngate ngulaba sente zakola antono nyo kugwezokola naye musajja nagejja lw'emirembe gye yeewa. Because the mind is settled. Mukaka mu mbwongo. That's what the Mercedes-Benz gives you. The comfort starts in the mind before you even sit in the car. The newer has mostly wiring issues. Nothing else. But with the newers that we have bought, they have no problem at all. I've helped like 4 people buy the newers, the 2002 model newers. And so far we don't have a problem. The latest newer we bought was the UBD. The UBD we bought that had nothing to repair. Era guy yatandikirawo bambi okugitika oba kwali ku live simanyi. Yatandikirawo okugitika ye farmer ate mbwa agitika tani nga 3. I found it in the garage by badazze kutereza biki. Then my mechanic told me gaya atike motoka. Yeah. So but the new one normally it used to have wiring issues, but now abana babinafuya okitegeera. Crown Super Saloon echimalanga. Yeah, I'm actually obo muyinde yangamba mpe moroka mwako milioni nyende. Because kakati ebyo yako byebyo. Okay, I had thought of a Benz, but njira njivaako nsigale ku Primo. A Benz jireke Sulaiman. Benz zinywa. Zo zinywa. And I think if you realize the people that drive Benzes every day are the people that live within town. When a person lives in Ntinda and works in town, they can manage a Benz. Because kati aunze rola yange yali wadde nywawo nusunga kakaga. 1 liter can, if I lived in Ntinda and I worked in town, I'd be using 1 liter of fuel. Or 2 liters maximum. That means I'll be using 10k. Where I use 10k, the Mercedes-Benz will use 30. From my analysis, from what I saw. Because now, I can tell you, okumanyange morokeyo, according to the Benz people, it wasn't even consuming fuel. I talked to Kasim, the Benz mechanic. You know what Kasim told me? Aga mafuta ge watademu. No avuga no genda. No koma uwano. Ne weto oloda what? Zemba na yongedde muda. And I was thinking, nzaga mafuta nenga samu korola ngavuge nnaku 5. It's like, So anyway, but the Benz consumes a lot of fuel. Second, if you're going to buy a Mercedes-Benz, personally, I would recommend you buy manual Benz. Mercedes-Benzes, all old Mercedes-Benzes either have a gearbox issue or they are going to have a gearbox issue. Because when I started driving that Benz, it didn't have a gearbox issue. In fact, in Abotuka kumusete weight, gears chusa bulungi. But then it was losing power, which might be that it needed only service for the gearbox. But katinze nice things atuka yoku service ya gearbox ngemolo already inywa mafuta okitegeera. So I just decided to ditch it kuba itepepira nga tekola ki okitegeera. So the other thing I realized, if you're going to drive a Mercedes-Benz, go and get it from the bond or import it yourself. Don't try as much as possible to avoid buying Mercedes-Benzes that have been driven on Ugandan roads okitegeera. After nuwa tukoze tutyeyo bate kukolera tetukole nuwe ekola nnyo. But there is a no they were calling me for, by the way, Mavogadget. there is a new they were calling me for eriku UZ nenga engine yayo nfu okitegeera. That's why I didn't tell you about it. Nga bangamba million 8 ninga everything else checks out, it's just that the engine atenga engine si nfu ogivuga bovuga bibyo naye kati bwoba olimu olusuubuzi nga gwe mavoe oba olina oteekamu emiliyoni nga 2 eza engine, which doesn't make sense. Ebegwere mu miliyoni nga 10. Of course for a final buyer a UZ Nua they would buy it about 13, 14, 15 in the normal market. Muve ku bya Arthur nze bwe tuba tugula emmoroka ezange mwe mufuna ddiiro abanange but eyebbali eyo okitegeera emmoroka baziseera. I'm so much interested in that Benz C200 C180. You buy the compressor, but still if you live far away from town, the compressor cannot handle potholes. It will disturb you. Yeah. The only Mercedes Benzes that can afford potholes are the Mercedes Benzes that the old models, the 97, 98 ezobazikolanga hardcore. Tezina na sensor za masanyaze nyingi. But you know what happens is where there are potholes there is dust. Where there is dust, Mercedes Benz will keep dying the sensors. Simanyeno sensor yachi zijja kufa nawe weta mwensi. You get? Yeah. So but Mercedes, personally I think that Mercedes Benz kinda dipped my love for Mercedes Benz more. Sicha yoya ya dinaka tono kati ne bwenju tunako butunuzi bwendi. Yes, I know Mercedes Benz will give you kinda, but let me tell you, then I looked at the Corolla 2010 model. Ate tompa Mercedes Benz. Ostegera mwe guy. The people that say that German cars are much more comfortable than they have not seen the good models of Toyota. Like if you have not sat in a Crown, you definitely be thinking that Mercedes Benz is better. But when you sit in a Crown of the same year, then you will know that Toyota actually does make some comfortable cars. Nzenavude mu C200, it was a 97 model. Nagivuddemu nentula mu Corolla. Yeah, nze toyina byo ngamba nawe. Then I went and sat in that 2010 Corolla. I don't know. Ngojeko the psychological bit that I'm driving a Mercedes Benz, I'm driving a Volkswagen, I'm driving a BMW. There is nothing really special about those European cars. It's just the prestige of driving a brand. There is nothing really special about a Gucci belt. It's a belt. As a matter of fact, if you don't put on a belt, people will not even know if your trouser fits you properly. So anyway, the person najogerako. So today I wanted to talk about the things that, in case you decide to inspect your car yourself, there are things that I know. Banange muzikirize ngule jibu wano ku office teri maziga akunywa. Ono mukyala tannaba kukulawo gwenyino gulako jibu. Atenga yalina jibu mu Kampala wana abaana bonna abadde jibu tebayina. But anyway, kana kadulaki tekakyanywera. So the things that you can look at if you're going to inspect, because you can decide that, you know what, I'm going to inspect my car myself, and then you go with the mechanic. There are things that you probably should know as you go to look for a car. The engine health is very important, because you can look at the engine health as something that is minor, because you say Buddha engine and a million bidi chitundu. But then why the engine health is very important is you have to add up the costs. Chimoto kanjugula sente zino mwenteka mu sente za engine mmalira mu sente meka. That's the other thing you need to also understand. Like for example, the Corolla that I was going to buy, I would do the math. The 8 million was worth that car if the engine was okay. But then when gatagattamu nengamba kakati ndimuteka mu AC, sorry. It may make a little noise. I'm trying to make sure this phone doesn't overheat. So if I buy that car 8 million, nengula engine million bili n'ekitundu, for example 1 million bili, already nyingide million 10. Then spraying the car, because the car is executive, it would cost me about 700 to 1 million. Or the million 10. It was a UAM series. Which take it ogatekeeza okujoza because yabadde nchafu nnyo emitwalo nga 15 kwabiri okuwoza interior. And then ebirala bitannabala bangambye gear simanya clutch ekaluba omuntu bakugamba clutch ekaluba yaba agambye ekyo, and it was a 6 gears, so kitegezo kyasobola okugira ng'ate kino ekikwata gear nakyo kifu ekisitula okuteeka mu reverse, then okyasobola okusanga gearbox yennyini ebuukayo ne gear ebyo byebawoza. Then odde ku suspension ojja kusanga shock zaayo nfu, shock za 2010 model ojja zisanga nga buli pair ya mitwalo nga 25. That's 500,000. So you need to be able to do the math of what am I going to invest in this car next, and for how long, when do I need to invest? Because personally, like when I looked at that Corolla, I realized that okay, spraying was immediate. Ejimtwalo nsanvu gigwa immediate. Okoze moroka interior immediate. Kitegeeza $1 million egwange moroka tonnaba na kugivuganamu. Okitegeera. Then ogatekeeza clutch, because the clutch they were complaining about the clutch. Kitegeeza ne clutch system. We know clutch ne pressure. That is another like 500,000. Kitegeeza emoroka tonnana givugamu nako. Okay, it has already taken 1.5. Okay, now let's say you have sprayed the car, you have washed the car, you have put the clutch plate, and the car now moves well. Okay, now you have already spent 1.5. Now you start driving the car on the road, then you start realizing the suspension has problems. Bino bushes, shock absorbers, bino bichi bikono ebina bijja kuli emitwalo nkaaga, because emoroka yarabisenge yabadde eva mu kyalo. So kati oro you realize otaddemu million mmeka bili ogiguze 8, otaddemu million 2 tonnagula engine. Now engine, putting a new engine in the car comes with extra costs that probably people don't even know. You buy an engine 2.5, then you have to put aside like 200,000 for the mechanics to put. Then you'll have to buy sensors, whether you like it or not. Some sensors are broken by the mechanics as they try to fix the new engine in the car. So eyo cost nayo you know kujibala. Kitegeeza nze bwe mbalabalamu olina okubala added costs. Engine yonga y'okukyusa engine. Bw'okyusa engine, if you find a bad mount, engine mount, you have to change it. There are expenses that will come with changing an engine that if you bought a car where you did not need to change an engine, you would not incur. So it's important that we understand this. Oleme kumala gagula mmotoka nga baga eyo engine ojja kukyusa. Me was changed engines. Now I know that there are costs that will come with you changing an engine that probably a mechanic will not tell you, because you will choose an engine yakola. For him, he makes money when he changes an engine for you. So it's important that you understand these costs. So the engine is not as simple as we think. Then, of course, sometimes you may not be able to know what engine is good, what is not good, because there are times I went to a car and the engine was bad. But then I tell them, because those sounds normally they point to different things. What wokuleka no kwa wansi nga yafa wansi, what wokuleka no ko mikono okitegera, then waba wokuleka no kuli kusirinda head okitegera, then waba no kuleka no ko mushafta. So you need to understand where is the noise coming from and how serious the damage could be. But then with the VVTi engines, there are noises that come from the timing chain. Now the noises from the timing chain are only annoying. They really have no issue. Like you remember the person that bought the Noah, there was a Wish UBB, I think. It had a timing issue noise, which ideally would be no problem. But because someone is buying their car, you don't want them to always be looking over their shoulder and because of that noise. So there are noises that just have one trouble, discomfort. And then there are noises that point to a bigger problem in that engine. So you need to understand. And then there are also issues. I remember there's a time someone came to buy a car and the amount they had could buy the Vista. You remember the Vista doctor. The Vista had a power issue which only required service. And I told this guy, I clearly told this guy, sente zo ina zigule motoka eno ogenda kola service ya gearbox and the car will be okay. Guy yagano kujigula. And I can tell you that the very next day, the owner of that car who was selling did service for the gearbox and the car was ijiadia jitwai tugendo kuzono guy million, I think mwenda guy we yakola service yajitune million 12. So it's important that sometimes trust kaino kubao. Apparently the reason this guy did not buy this car is because as we were checking, he went and got, I think he knew a certain broker, so he bought the broker to check for him again. And the broker told him in a Morocco gearbox info. But me, I knew I knew the car. That car, at least I knew it personally, because the doctor that was driving it, I knew that this guy wasn't just a maintenance guy. He maintaining a Morocco Burunji. And that's why the car kind of did not have power as it was, and stuff like that. So you need to know those things. Then the suspension system. You know what cost can I incur in the suspension system? For example, if you're buying new suspension parts, you can spend even 1.5 million. But there are times when you don't need to buy new suspension parts. For example, I've told you, I have a program for my car. When the year is beginning, I buy new things for my car. Ngula suspension plates mpya, ngula obukono bupya, okitegeera. Buli shocks nenzigula baziba nfune ngula mpya. Now for that entire year, I don't buy new things again. Nyigamu bunyizi. Okitegeera. Nyigamu bunyizi. Okitegeera. So but that's how I maintain my costing akakati. That's how I don't spend a lot of money on the car. But otherwise, if it were that I have to buy new things every time that I feel like a noise, you know what it would mean? It would mean that I spend over 1 million shillings every time I do. So that sometimes, normally when someone says, bana imoroka njiteka mu sente entamye, sometimes it's because they don't know exactly what to do. That's why normally when we go to inspect cars with people, I tell them, chino chikanike, chino tochikola, chino chireke, chino, because I know what you need to do and what you don't need to do. And then there are noises in your car that are tolerable. Ngezo oyokerero inoku mwesonyiwa. It doesn't really have as much impact on the car. It will only make you uncomfortable. Nga toina chamanyi chokola chi. Teina chamanyi chekola. Abdul, I like that part where when you stop and buy something on the way. I heard that the 1980s Benz were built like a tank. It was so durable that it almost made them go bankrupt. Even the consumption, because it's too heavy. I think this also has to do with the C200 it's too heavy. You see that car, the Mercedes-Benz that is in front of us, that's a C180 or a C200. That's a gold. It's the predecessor. Sija kwemenyala zungu njakogera predecessor nga kitegeze yasookawo yadda kweri gye nali njagala okugula. But when you look at the kind of material that was used to make this car, it's lighter. This will give you better mileage, but it's lighter. N'okugisindika eno bagisindika kyotasobola kukola kweri eri Benz nzimu nnyo yakusindika because it's heavy. But also it means einembeera gyotasobola kugiyisaamu ng'ate wali badde osobola okugiyisaamu eri Benz yange gye nali njagala. That's why I wanted the other Benz, okitegeera. But if I can't get that Benz, kati ate Crown eba ekimalanga, okitegeera. What should I install first in an alarm, car or tracker? I want to come on Monday. It depends what car it is. If it's a car that is needed by the thieves, put the tracker first. Okitegeera. Put the tracker, because parts can be replaced, but the car kasita bagitwala baba bagitutte. Okitegeera. Actually, when you look at that Primo eri egenze ne Premio mpya, yiyo Premio mpya eri mukumpisa. Yiyo neyo Primo. The other Primo is stronger than this one. But this one gives you better mileage than the other one. Arthur, please connect me to your Indian friend. I have very little deposit, but capable of paying a little per month until I finish. Auntie Kati William, the thing is, he was giving me the car because it was a deal. I give you a car, you give me 1 million to pay paka bwomalayo, but then you bring me buyers. Chitegeza nza anfunamu emirundi emeka, anfunamu emirundi mingi. But if you have little money, there are places like Success Motors that can take that little money. Ne bakuguze mu million asatu ne bagiguza 5. Okitegeera. But me, I was buying market price because, well, I give them other benefits as well. I give them other benefits as well. So you need to be able to ask yourself that. Yeah, the successor. Katimula bambadde njogedde. I had said bad English. I had said the very wrong English. That Mercedes Benz is the successor of the one that I wanted to buy, but it still means that it's not as strong as the predecessor. Now banange broadcast njigiriza oluzungu e Kampala wano. Next year nja kuba oluzungu lwenjogera si lwakuno. I'll be speaking a different breed of English. Nekyo njogedde kifu. Naye byansi byakuleka n'abayogera oluzungu olutuufu nabo bafa. Anyway, you guys, so the things you want to look at, normally I realize you guys when you're buying cars, you look at the interior, you focus on how the interior looks, you focus on the body, but I've seen that most of you guys actually focus on the interior. You want to buy a car that looks very nice, that looks very comfortable. You normally want to buy a car that looks too clean. And I can tell you that normally when someone is going to sell their car, they wash. It's better for you to buy a car that doesn't look so good on the interior, and you make it so. Abantu boze mmoroka naddala nga bagenda okutunda emmoroka zaabwe. Okitegeera. What's the price range of the C200 and C180? Now, even at 10 million you can get, even at 12 million you can get, depending on who is selling, why they are selling, why you are buying, how fast you want to buy, and all those things. Okitegeera. But Mercedes-Benz 10 million you can get even a compressor. 12 million you can. The prices are not fixed, but just know that the resale value of the Mercedes-Benz, when you're selling, it doesn't matter how much you bought. The people that buy at what money they have. They don't buy at the money you bought. So this person that wanted to sell me the newer, he's going to Somalia, I think, next week. So he was telling me he's selling at 13. I think he wants to sell to me the amount he bought. I told him that 1 million munana weba nungi. Weba mbize esala. Because kati zengulanga basubuzi. But the auction thing after tetunafuna connection auction tebanaba. But then the other thing I also realized about auctions, when you go to buy auction cars, you don't really have a choice. You look at what they have and then you bid on those. So majority of the time the cars are normally, it's very hard to find an organization auctioning a car that they want, auctioning a car that is that useful to them. Normally they auction cars that are useless, they auction cars that are dead, they auction cars that they have failed to maintain. That's another thing that you need to focus on as you think of buying an auction car. They are selling cars that they have failed to maintain. So they are discarding. I don't know about Zungo too, but they are discarding. So at Anagura TV, my show is going to be starting on Pearl Magic Local Saturday 30th September, and then it will be showing every Saturday at 8 p.m. from there on. Yeah, so it's called The Cafe. I'm going to post the promo on this channel. Nayo mujirabe. I already posted the picture, a promo picture, but I posted the promo video. Nenga chembamanya wakaba ntumbagambi. The Cafe is a must watch. Tutandika September 30th with episode 1, and it will run and run and run. Mwe mujifura popular ne athane mumuyambako nakola akasente. Anti show we better popular runga nangi nkola. So don't forget, your show yange, I created it, I produced it, I directed it. Of course I acted in like one episode. I acted and I was an extra. Sizanya party nene because I normally don't want to be director actor. If I direct, I want to focus on directing. So but the Cafe is coming to your TV, Pearl Magic Local Temweda every Saturday 8 p.m. starting 30th September. Kati nawe akafana nyako, you can get the picture and share on your social medias. Onobo nkolede nyo oba abana we bajja fees we bajja mata we tujja impact tujja kujja impact kambaze kubala bagayi bange mumeroka view. So question Friday, be ready egenda kubejja. I was figuring to host an engineer here because I realized We have a lot of issues with our building. Abantu bazimba ebintu ne bitanyuma ne bazimba ebintu plan ne bazisoma obi and all that. So I'm still working out whether to have someone on board. The podcast is starting officially. I'll probably start with Dr. Daniel Ranga, psychiatrist. Ababaseera psychiatrist abamponya depression. Nenga depression tiyaona nti ngenzeeyo. Kasana with the bay psychiatrist depression nagenda yekka. I have never been depressed since then. I can't even dare be depressed. Depression is too expensive. Depression is yabagag. I cancel myself. I hope you are not hard to get for an inspection or good deals. I'm not hard to get as long as you pay the money. Only 400k. Inspection is only 400k. And yeah. So as long as you pay and then you come at a day when I'm available, then yeah. Arthur, you could also advise on reputable dealers here in Kampala. For example, if your friends have recommended Success Motors, me, I don't recommend. Why? I don't recommend anyone because those guys are business people. For example, and I don't want to be sued, I will tell you that you go to a bond and you're buying a car on installment. And I'll tell you this happens in so many bonds. You're buying a car on installment. Gonogena no baga na inze nyina million 10 mumpe moroka. Ngoyagala moroka million 2. Nebagikuwa. Nebagiguze million 3.5. At that moment, because you're excited about driving a new car, gwe olaba ng'omusajja akoze favor okuwola emmotoka empya okitegeera 10 zaakongeddemu nti zisobola okukola ki, zisobola okutayiringa ennyumba. Ontegeera kye nkugamba. Now I'm saying I normally I draw examples from what I know from my environment. Nti million 10 ozigulamu tayiro sebo otayiringa ennyumba n'ogimala ate ng'oguze porcelain tiles nga toguze goodwill okitegeera, because porcelain square meter baya 8. You get it? So it's important that we add mathematics. Me, I don't recommend any dealer because dealer they are just business people. There is no dealer that is good all through and there is no dealer that is bad all through. So I don't want to say you go to this dealer. There is a muyindi that wanted to give me a kamweka kakadde. Just commitment fee. Nze mulangi. Oshitegeera. So you need to understand that nabo bennyini era abantu bennanga ne bagenda yeewuwe. Okitegeera. Abagenda taking advantage of them because abantu abo nabagabireko emmotoka namba kakati emmotoka ne sijjayo na capital gwe nassaamu kati abagenda bakamula. Okitegeera. Arthur, I'm deep in love with Subaru Legacy 2009 model. Talk about it, maintenance and consumption. Now, you need to understand that Subarus, their maintenance is a little higher than Toyota. But still, if you buy a new car like 2009 model, would be a fairly new car. So if you're going to be buying a 2009 model of any car right now, that's why when they told me about the 2010 Corolla, I rushed. So 2009 model car, one of Uganda, because you see, eri nuwe kirira mujirengera iyo 287 si 210. Majority of people in Uganda that are driving new cars now are driving 2008 2009 models. Ochitegera batono nya bavuga okusuka 2010. Majority of them are driving 2009 2008 models. Ochitegera. So you need to understand that 2009 model boboji kuze na denanga gwaje etandikidde. There are chances that you will not have a lot of things to work on. So just buy and maintain, do service on time. It won't be as cheap as Toyota. Like if I do my service for Toyota at 110, your service might cost you 250,000. If my shock absorber costs me, a pair costs me 150, yours will probably cost you 250. okitegeera. So but that's normal, bya bulijjo bibangawo. Techigana gula Subaru if you really want. And by the way, if you want to drive a certain car, drive it. Okitegeera, tosaamu math mungi nga Arthur. Me, I personally put a lot of math because I know that within a week your car will become ordinary. Maximum a month your car will become ordinary, and it doesn't matter what car it is. You see, cars become ordinary faster than you think. It's just like houses. You build a house, and before you enter the house, it's everything to die for. Now when you enter your house, it's the people that don't live there that see your house as beautiful. Ordinary. You get? So it's important that you understand that drive the car you want, but personally I would put math. And every single the people that pay me for pre-purchase inspection, I talk to them, and when they are too excited about a car, one of the questions I normally ask people is why. Why particularly are you psyched about this car? Why? What's so special about this car that is not with the other cars? And then I try to reason with them, and sometimes I fail, sometimes I win, but personally nzentekamu math mungi because I know that within a week, maximum within a month, within a very short period of time, that car will be ordinary. Like I tell you, I got out of a Mercedes Benz, I sat in my Corolla, and I was asking myself, kakati benzin, but being fachi. So the only reason I'd be buying a second car is because we need a second car. There are times like now when I go to do field work, I wake up very early, so my kids can't go to school because daddy has to go to work very early, and that time baba tebasobola genda ku somero. So it's mathematics for me controls almost everything I do. Kasita kasente tokalya weka. Kasente chiko gamba. Man, any genuine contact from Success Motors, it seems there are a lot of buffering in that bond. It's common vice these days. Uganda wange. Me, like I say, and I'll say it again, I've not verified anyone. I'll tell you that never Muganda wa kubako. People have to have something bigger than, they have to want something bigger than just money. Like now, I've built this brand for quite some time. Brands are reaching me for endorsements. Many brands cannot afford me. A lot of people are willing to give me money to endorse them, to influence for them, but they can't afford me. They can't afford me. Why? Because my brand is much more important than today's money. You really have to give me some good money for me to say, okay, because I know that the moment I say this is good, I have to be able to verify that it's good. My brand gets dented. And yet, yes, I've put in a lot of work. So I cannot say that go and call this person, that person is genuine. So I don't want to watch it without Go TV to cause it. There is no way currently, because that show was that show is commissioned, it's taken by DSTV. So DSTV owns it for a specified period of time until until our contract expires. They own that work. Nalabya akalango na yefe aba abroad tukoze tutya muko omusajja yagenda ku kyeyo ke muko omusajja nedda. But if you have a Go TV decoder at home, Joshua, you can tell your wife to send you the Go TV code, the serial number. You can download my Go TV app. Even DSTV has an app, my DSTV app. You put that code in DSTV, in that app, you can watch those things. Aba YouTube temusobola kugiraba. Aba YouTube temusobola kugiraba. What came out from the opinion polls about the inspection charges? Okay, the winner was 450. The next was 500,000. Of course, I have some few people that kept saying 600. Nainga, the winner was 450. So, and then there were people that were saying charge for every extra day. So, this is what I decided. So we are going to, starting January 2024, the charge will be 450,000. And in my experience, if you have the right budget for the right car, one day is enough for us to get a good car. If you have the right budget for the right car. Now, because sometimes people might not have the right budget for the right car and they don't listen and they still come, najja because they want to test the market and then come back another day, I will charge you extra for another day. So you'll pay 450 for the first day, pay 50,000 extra for a second day. Now, if we go into another day, okay, you pay 150 extra for a third day. Now, by day 3, either you don't have the money to buy a car, or so day 1, 450. Day 2, you add the 50,000 to make 500,000, and then day 3 is 150. And after day 3, if you still don't get the car you want, mbasi cha kusobola. Because there is no way. Omuntu yakaike yanemo okufunira emmotoka yamara omwaka mulamba nga tanagula mmotoka. Okitegeera ne mmuta ne muga agenda. Okitegeera. Atela in the end, he did not go with me, but he bought the same car that I showed him in the beginning because it was still available. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So normally people come, they have some kind of expectations, and omuntu yekaika, by the way, yanemo guze motoka. He came when the time when we were inspecting for Brian. I don't know if you guys, for the guys that remember Brian, the Brian that bought Ipsum. He came when we were inspecting for Brian. Brian got a car, and a bunch of other people got cars there. In between, he did not get a car. And then he spent a full year, because we bought a car with Brian last year, around over November. That person bought a car I think last month, this year. So he took that long time before getting a car. And even when he bought a car, he bought the very car that I showed him in the beginning. You get, because it was still available. Sira yanonye moroka musente ze ne mubula na akobawo na agula je namulaga ne mugamba nti gule ye moroka era je yagula. Okitegeera. How much is the old Vitz ahead of you? Bobo gamba Vitz enkade million 10 you can get. When a person gets a car, ne batamuwa card, they agree to pay the remaining balance like in 4 months. May I be on pressure? What if this guy uses the card to get a loan? Or what if he comes back for his car? No, normally if you have an agreement, make sure you have an agreement that is strong. Make sure you have an agreement that is strong. And make sure you verify. Like normally you guys that go to those bubanda, the bonds, the used car bonds. Used, not used. Used. You can buy a car no jigula ku broker na inga tomanyi. So kati broker asobola okuguza emmotoka nannyini yo ye n'aginona nga nannyini yo sigwaguzeeko. So you need to be very careful. So how much can a Mark 2 grand consumption from Matuga to Kampala? Mark 2 grand, if my car consumes 20,000, the Mark 2 grand will be 30, 35. Of course, it also depends on your driving habits. Yeah. I got a Spacio from Success Motors on installment, but I can say they are legit. Bajja kuseeramu naye tebajja kuba. Yes, boba seeramu. Nti emotoka ya million 15 basobola ogiguza 3. Okitegeera. Yeah. Opinion polls results are WhatsApp opinion poll. Almost everyone wants a WhatsApp group. But now I'm going to bring the post on why we should actually form the WhatsApp group. Because almost, you guys, the thing that can be done on WhatsApp group, we almost do it here. We meet here every day. We talk every day. One thing I've realized about WhatsApp group, sometimes they actually kill relationships. So I want to be very careful about it, because we meet every day, we talk every day. Morning everyone, I'm buying another car for my madam, but wapi, I'll still pay for 50. Out of experience, my car is good, no regrets. Ochaji ine moroka ya fe Brian, obadde obuze no Brian oberayo mu kamoli. Kati Brian gayo mujukira sagala mwogera linnya. Gayi gwe twali naye nga tu inspectinga. Yaguze moroka last month. Ate moroka ojijjukira je nabalaga eri. Era je yaddayo n'agula because it was still available. Gayi yali ojjukira, gayi yali atunda. So but finally yagitunda era je yagula. High voltage says got a Sienta, but later realized that the Ractis is more comfortable. The Ractis is much more comfortable. Maybe because the Ractis is smaller and then ojja kwesanga suspension almost is the same, but the Ractis doesn't look good. The Sienta looks better than the Ractis. Mwebagayi kamba sibule, I am late for work, but kansome kumanya wano. Jombo Juma, Joshua, Solomon Chitumba, Mantu, Hanifa, Asiku, Patrick. Bana ikadikana makamba bude chintu chimu. There is a gentleman here. I inspected for him his first car. Eyokubiri yagano sasula inspection. Emotoka giyagule eyokubiri. Emusuzizaako ne kukkubo. Emotoka eyokubiri giyagule emusuzizaako ne kukkubo. Kati nze emotoka eyokubiri giyagula nalingi manyi naye saamu bote yanneebuuzaako. Okitegeera. So saamu gamba naye emotoka eyokubiri giyagula. Yagigula kabeeyi ate era emulidde. Okitegeera. So nga ate sente ze yagulamu eyo emmotoka zaali zifuna emmotoka endala nga ate nnungi nnyo. Okitegeera. Naye saayagala kumugamba because omuntu bw'alaba nti kati ategedde. Ekyo ekintu kye mbagamba normally when I tell you nze sikiza muntu genda na makanika wange yekka genda ku inspection. Why? Because bw'anakola kyonna ky'anakola ogamba ojja gamba Arthur kye mwankola. Tojja gamba nti oli makanika kye yankola. Ojja gamba Arthur kye mwankola. Okitegeera. So kakati you don't really have to pay pre-purchase inspection, but you really have to be very careful ng'ogula emmotoka. Let it be your third car, let it be your fourth car. Nze mbabulira nti nze abantu mezanga ngamba manyi. Nga ndudde nabo. Bw'olwa n'omuntu otandika okulowooza nti muntu ono now I can trust them. Trust tejja mu. Someone has to have something to lose. Okitegeera. Ye leverage. Kyobola mbagaye nti I have brands that want me to endorse for them naye buli wendowooza to endorse a product, it really needs to be worth it. Okitegeera. Togenda kati kujompa emitwalo 5 ngai man. Endorse my, because nze nkimanyi ogenda kukola a lot of money out of my endorsement. Okitegeera. So it really needs to be some good money. Juma, Joshua, Hanabe, Ahimbisiwe Dennis, Deep in Coffee, Ban Deep in Coffee nkulaba ku TikTok webale man. Emma olero badde sikulabye. Isaac, tuogere mtu abo ba ku podcast ono baako man. Hanifa Mansur, Salmin, Abe Bokenya, Jerome Wabuyi Nelson, Andrew Okuni, Preacher Joseph, Baba Antonio Nimba Services, Hanaba Joshua, Firstborn, Luzige Steven, Paul Senyonga, Ibanda Bernard, Chairman Zach Benjamin B, Travel Life Vlog, Charles Nkugwa Mutumba Pade, Mavo Gadget Set, Mavo Gadget iro nyino okujja. Mavo Gadget agenda kumbuguzayo machine. Labo ananguza machine nga mbinze nja bagamba. Nzo manyi sisirika. I don't keep quiet. Jude Kasibante, Yusuf Sulaiman Al-Ghazai, ngenda gula machine, performance machine. Because kati videos enkole naku zino graphics ndi wa mutabana nnyo. Isaac Mwesigwa, Pascal Joseph, Ntanzi Abdul, Yusuf Sulaiman, mwiro Luwarabu wendoga Sulaiman, ngomu Warabu yennyini. Kanso Patrick Asiku, ne Kanso nonyako. Moses Peace, Juko Nicholas, Mark W, William Magezi, Mugorozi Edgar, Emma Katunji, Moses Bakashaba Ruhanga, Nickton Dalton, Chigozi Stanley High, Gero Printing Base, JK Jeko ude wembade nwana nebigambo by'oluzungu njogera predecessor nga nyina kwogera successor na oluzungu lutawanya neka ne kitawanya fe butalwogera nyera nange ndogera buli naku muyinza okunsanga nga mfuweta swi Brian Amina Brian Mavuga Jet nzija oja dogera chechecho Ojadwogera. Bro, I want to buy a Toyota Spacio new model 1.5 liter. I'm upgrading from Raum old model. Do you recommend? And if yes, do I have to buy from bond or second hand? You can. There is no Spacio in the bond. There is no Spacio in the bond. Katemoro kiyada mu kifo kya Spacio si egundi Passo sete. Amina Paul. Amina. Guys, may God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Don't forget I do pre-purchase inspection. Mupisako sente. Emmotoka giteke mwana mweta anago. Ana gakyali ana. Wede kati nstukidde mugiya. Mutekemu emitwalo ana. Ago. Nange ba abani banywa amata. Ate kati mulaba wuyo kati ntandise okugenda ku TV kati nekaga nfuneyo emmotoka endala ejoga muko. Ngurumu nkyusa mwe yo director wa cafe. Kitegeera naye nga mukama bawo omukisa guy. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.